Hey, Dead Drawers, would you guess that the Dead Draw Gaming podcast has expanded?
What? Expanded?
We have entered a new format of podcasting. We are now available on iHeartRadio.
And you can use all of the TCG cards from Black and White on.
I mean, you could do that anyway.
While listening to our podcast on iHeartRadio.
You can use any of them. Dead Draw Gaming is an unlimited Pokemon podcast.
That's what I said.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of the show and check us out on iHeartRadio if you enjoy using that service. Tell your friends.
What's up, Dead Drawers, and welcome to episode number 82 of Dead Draw Gaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was. We have a super exciting episode for you guys today, so if you are hyped, just like we are, make sure to hit that like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. But first, you guys, before we get too far into things today, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to my co-hosts who are with me every single week. Hello, Danny. Hello, Darren. What is going on today, boys?
What up, everybody? Darren here. I am so excited to be here. Oh, this is a seriously awesome week. Pokemon Go has been really fun for the past couple weeks. You guys, I finally got my Mew.
Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray is right. I'm pumped. Danny, how are you?
I'm sick.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
But I'm good. I'm going to try and talk very little so that way I don't annoy you guys even more with my voice than what I typically do.
Don't get
my
me
week
sick,
has
Danny.
Been super busy. So last week on the podcast, I talked about how we weren't going to be getting Forbidden Light. And then the next day after the podcast was finished recording, I was like, hey, we got to figure out a way to get this here because I need to make sure that I hit release day orders. Otherwise, there's really not that big of an incentive for people to get it from us. So basically, the distributor, the salesperson that I work with was like, okay, well, then I'll go pack up your order myself and get it out to you. So we got it out, and it came in on Saturday. And I had plans on Saturday, so I didn't get to start opening stuff until late Saturday night. And I was up until it's close to 4 a.m, and I only got through half of the boxes. And then I had plans on Sunday. So then Sunday night, I got through the rest of the boxes. And then I had to get everything sorted and get everything sent out for pre-orders. And I recorded some stuff. I recorded a vlog for Forbidden Light. And then I recorded booster box opening and some blister pack openings and some ETB openings. And now I recorded another vlog today. So I've actually recorded every day since Saturday something, which is really different for me. And then I got everything sorted the way it's supposed to be done, filled everybody's pre-orders for the most part. And now I'm working on uploading cards to the website. And I'm tired. But it's what you go through for release week. It's exciting.
Man, I wish I could have been there.
Yeah, it was a rough weekend because people just had plans. But it happens. And we didn't have anybody fly in this weekend. So I don't know what their problem is. Don't we expect that every time? No, I'm just kidding. But it was a lot of fun. I'm glad to be on the tail end of it. It's really nice. Dan, how are you doing?
It is Wednesday, my dudes. And also, I'm doing well. I had a real good vacation. I've worked 2 days since the last time I talked to you guys. And that's it. I went back to North Dakota over the weekend. Hung out with my brother who turned 21. Got to see a lot of old friends. Hung out with my family. It was a real good time.
Yeah, you haven't been back for a while, have you?
It is my first time in almost a year.
And you got to see Avengers.
And yeah, dude, Avengers was very good. I liked it a lot.
Ooh, baby. Also liked it a lot. Good stuff.
I'm just an MCU fanboy, though. I'm not one of the comic book people. who I've heard didn't like it that much, but I don't care. I liked it, and movies being good is subjective. So
There you go. I really enjoyed the movie as well.
you know what else you're gonna enjoy, Darren?
I'm going to enjoy spoiling Avengers Infinity War for all of our podcast listeners. Here we go. No, I'm ready for something else. What do you got?
You would spoil it for me also. Because I haven't seen it.
I was gonna say you might also enjoy episode 82's agenda.
Oh, that was a good transition.
I'm better at this. Way better than when we first started.
True.
You know. So, you guys, we're going to start you off this week the same way we do every other week with some Pokemon news. And then we're going to jump into the recap of the Latin America Intercontinental Championships. And then we're going to jump into the prelude of the Salt Lake City Regional Championships. And then we will do our weekly top 5, our top 5 fire-type Pokemon. Then we will jump into our question of the week, our buy-sell trade of the week. Then we will do our open discussion and our wrap. I will kick it off over to Danny and Darren, who will start us off this week with all of the non-Pokemon TCG news. Pokemon Go.
There is so much Pokemon Go news. First and foremost, let's talk about Zapdos. As of yesterday, trainers, you can find a Zapdos after doing your field research for 7 consecutive days. And if you had saved up your field researches and like yesterday was your 7th day, you could have got your Zapdos yesterday. That means that you could potentially end up with 5 Zapdos. I personally opted for 4 Moltres because Moltres is the best fire attacker in the game right now. But I will also be getting 4 Zapdos. So I'm just very excited to get there. I am 5 days away from my Zapdos.
That's exciting.
Heck yeah.
How many days am I away from my Zapdos?
How many field researches have you done?
0.
You are 7 then.
Ah.
Yeah. Personally, I finished up my Mew quest. There is no follow-up special research for the moment, but there is more research coming, and all signs point to Celebi.
And that's a brand new one, right? You haven't been able to get Celebi before?
That's right. Nope. So it'd be the only way to get Mew and Celebi would be through special research. Let's see. Next piece of news. We are in our current Pokemon Go event. It's a 2-week event, and it's called the Battle Showdown event. It includes shiny Makuhita, shiny Metatites, special boxes, and bonus XP and dust for doing raid battles.
Why would anybody want a shiny Makuhita?
Yeah, I think it's like just the big puffy hands for your Hariyama are like purple or pink. I don't remember.
I don't know what the shiny one looks like.
It looks very similar to the normal. It's very similar. But for the Battle Showdown event from May 1st to May 14th, you will see an increase in fighting type spawns, and it's a very noticeable increase. There are Mankey everywhere.
You know what that means?
Danny?
What does it mean?
You can get yourself a Primeape.
A Primeape GX?
You can name it that.
Are we still talking about Pokemon Go?
Pokemon Go.
Oh.
The other bonuses from the Battle Showdown event
GX that came out.
What'd you say?
If there was a Primeape GX that came out, I would be playing in Madison instead of vending in Madison.
Honestly, yeah, I have no problems.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, keep going, Darren.
All right, the rest of the bonuses from the Battle Showdown event are 2x experience from gym battles and raid battles, 3,000 Stardust for just participating in any raid battle, and at least 1 rare candy if you win a raid battle. Plus, more items are dropping from photo discs that you spin at gyms, and it's very noticeable. It's like 2 to 3 more items. So like every time you spin a gym, you're getting at least 6 items. And then, let's see. There's some more big news. The CEO of Niantic, John Hankey, has confirmed that they are currently working on Gen 4, updated PvP, and Pokestop submissions, as well as a level cap increase. Now, everything's kind of in the air. There's nothing super specific, but those are things that will happen, as well as Pokemon Go Fest 2.0. Hopefully not nearly as big of a flop as last time. Also, Niantic is taking real big actions against spoofers. Thousands and thousands of accounts were banned in a huge wave last week, and there's only more of that to come. So, sorry, armchair Pokemon goers out there, you might have to get out in the world to keep playing this game. And finally, Latios will be leaving us in just a few days. In about a week, we will be switching over to Latias in raids. And I think...
Gotta get my Latios.
Yeah, right? You're almost done. But I think I'm going to leave it there for Pokemon Go news.
Awesome.
We can move on.
All right, just a couple of updates for the video game. The global missions. First of all, the 7th Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon global mission has begun. This global mission's theme is to earn battle points at the battle tree. The goal is to reach 2 million battle points earned by May 14th. If the mission is a success, then participating players get 2,000 festival coins or 4,000 festival coins if they have a global link account tied to their game, while if it's a failure, we get 1,000 festival coins or 2,000 festival coins if they have a global link account tied to their game. So 2 million battle points earned by May 14th, so you get a little less than 2 weeks to do it. Personally, I take credit every time that a global mission ends in a success, because I feel like since we talk about it on the podcast, that makes people go play, and I just take credit for it. Otherwise, we have a little bit of details for the next battle competition. This is the Ultra No Holds Barred competition. This is a single battle competition where players can only use Pokemon from the National Pokedex and prohibits the use of Mewtwo, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Arceus, Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem, Xerneas, Yveltal, Solgaleo, and Lunala. Whew, that's a lot. All Pokemon will be raised to level 100 for the duration of the competition. Registration runs from May 17th to the 24th. Battles will run from the 25th to the 27th. All entrants will get 50 battle points. Special download rules are now available for this competition. So go check that out. That's it. That's it for non-TCG news, and we have a lot of TCG news. So I'll kick it over to Dan, and he can go through some of that.
Yeah, one thing I want to say before we get into the TCG news is that last week when I was talking about the reprints of everything, I was all like, oh, this guy, this is Kurt. This is a card we haven't seen before. Well, I was wrong. The card is actually called Apricorn Maker, and it is from Skyridge. So I was listening, and I was like, oh, man. I saw the card, and I was like, oh, geez. I got to say something because I was totally wrong. It's a supporter that reads, search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards with ball in their name, show them to your opponent, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck afterward.
Oh, like ball toy?
Yeah. I don't think that's how it works.
There's actually, so just to nip that in the bud, there actually is an old compendium ruling about this card. It really just means Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, those kinds of cards.
Mm-hmm.
How about Bursting Balloon? No, not Bursting Balloon either. Anyway, sorry. Continue, sir.
So I guess one thing that I was going to talk about is, as far as I know, we haven't got the actual card leaks yet for some of these cards, but we got descriptions of a Rayquaza GX, Stack Attack GX, and a Sceptile, and a new supporter coming in Sun and Moon 7. So I just wanted to read the descriptions off for those real quick. It says the new Rayquaza GX is an attack that accelerates energy attachment to Rayquaza, exactly in line with the previous Rayquaza cards like Rayquaza EX from EX Dragon, Rayquaza EX from EX Deoxys, Rayquaza EX from Black and White Dragons Exalted. It has a second attack that uses all of your energy in play, presumably to inflict damage on your opponent's active Pokemon. So not anything too much different. The new Stakateka GX will have an ability that reduces damage from your opponent's attacks to your Ultra Beasts. The new subtitle will appear in the set, will also be the alternate art promo you receive for purchasing a booster box, has an ability called Nature Power. Each of your Pokemon with any grass energy attached will receive no damage from the attacks of your opponent's Ultra Beast. One of the set's main selling points, you have strong common and uncommon cards than usual. A new supporter card that will let you choose any one card from your deck and put it into your hand. Some of the set's regular Pokemon will have as high as 220 HP.
Wow.
Like non-GX Pokemon?
Yeah.
Non-GX Pokemon.
That's insane.
That is huge. I'm hyped on this Sceptile.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. No damage done to your Pokemon by Ultra Beasts.
And I'm excited for Rayquaza's Dragon Ascent GX attack, whatever it does.
Yeah, I'm just excited that I get to play Rayquaza again.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe for some weird reason this time around, it'll use Psychic Energies, and then I can play Ray Eels for real.
I really don't think that'll happen. But
yeah,
maybe we'll get another card that changes all of your Pokemon's type to Psychic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or you can just play Charizard from Evolutions.
Yeah, why not?
Actually, I don't think that would... Yeah, you know what? That's not important. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to grab the next one here, if you don't mind.
Please do.
Let's talk a little bit about the next set of hype cards. We have a Prism Star Stadium coming, a Fairy-type Alolan Ninetales GX, and a new Mimikyu GX. So apparently SM7A, which is Thunderclap Spark, will have the first ever Stadium Prism card. It is said that it will reduce the attack costs for a certain Pokemon type by 1 energy. We just don't know which type that is yet. For example, it could lower the cost of Lightning type Pokemon's attacks by 1 less Lightning, or maybe it'll say 1 less colorless. Think of Dimension Valley, but as a Prism Star card, and it'll probably lower it by a basic energy rather than a colorless.
That's risky.
Right, I agree.
Because you can only play one of, and with how prevalent Field Blower is all over the place.
But even if you could get off an attack, 1 turn earlier than you would have been able to before, imagine Dangerous Roguing for 1 fighting energy.
It's certainly interesting. Like, if it is fighting, which I don't think it would be, but if it is fighting...
too. I'm just saying, that in general, that's the kind of things that it would allow you to attack 1 turn faster than you normally would.
Bonkers stuff. Also, Fairy Rise, or SM7B, will feature the Fairy Alolan Ninetales GX. It will have an ability which will allow you to search your deck for any 2 item cards and put them into your hand. This set will also feature... Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
That seems very good.
Yes. This set will also feature the first ever Mimikyu GX. We're not sure if the new Mimikyu GX will be Fairy or Psychic. There you go. Pretty cool.
Can you imagine an ability that lets you just search for any 2 item cards?
Wasn't there a Herdier that did something like that? Or not?
When you evolved it, you could take an item from your discard pile.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
And that's a stage 2, though.
I bet that it's like... What? Herdier?
No, the Herdier was a stage 1.
The middle one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Evolves from Lillipup into Stone.
Anyway.
You're right.
What were you saying, Dan?
I feel like that's broken.
Well, I was just saying, I bet this isn't an effect, like an ability that you'll be able to use every single turn. I bet it's like when you attach an energy to this Pokemon, or when you evolve it from your hand, or something like that,
Well, that's what it says when you evolve.
Yeah. Evolve from your hand.
Oh, never mind.
But still,
totally
being able to go get 2 item cards.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
And you're already evolving from a Beacon, a Alolan Vulpix. Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot you'd be able to mess around with on that. Granted, we don't know what its attacks are, so that could ruin it.
That's true. It could just have dumb attacks. 2 Fairy, 1 colorless, 100 damage, no no bonus.
Yeah. Discard 2 cards from your hand that you just searched for.
Uh, yeah. Oh, gross. What else we got?
You guys can keep going.
Oh, that's a good point, because you are sick.
Yep. So it's also looking like there's going to be another promo card coming out with Thunderclap Spark. It's going to be a Zekrom GX. It'll be a dragon type. It'll be the first GX Pokemon for Zekrom, which there's been a lot of Zekrom cards printed.
It's a good Pokemon.
But I mean, yeah. So,
You know what? There hasn't been a lot of printed.
Primeape GXs or Primeape in general.
I was just going to say Primeape GX, but yeah, Primeape in general is fine.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Yeah, reading through this, we don't really have any of the information on Zekrom yet. It's just looking like it's going to be a part of SM7.
Cool. How about some more concrete news? We finally know what the theme decks are for Forbidden Light, Twilight Rogue, and Tropical Shakedown. One is featuring Lycanroc, and the other is featuring good old Alolan Executor. We know exactly what
Pokemon,
right? So I'm looking at these decks, and one of them includes 2 Inkay and 1 Malamar. So that just might be the good Malamar that we all want to play and own plenty of. It also has 1 Cynthia and 2 of the new Lycanroc, 1 Escape Board, 1 Field Blower, 1 Lily, nothing else really of note. The Alolan Executor deck has 2 Alolan Executor, a 2/2 Alolan Sandslash line, a 3/2 Alolan Raticate line. It has 1 Field Blower, 1 Lily, 2 Nest Ball, and 5 different basic energy types.
That's probably because Alolan Executor, it attacks with how many different basic energies are in your discard pile.
That's right. So I think it's pretty obvious which deck will be better, but it's not obvious which will be more fun. So there you go.
Alolan Executor seems like a fun deck, and there was a lot of pre-order requests for it. So maybe it will be somewhat playable.
I really hope so.
It's not too terribly hard to get different energy types into your discard pile. The problem is that you can't attack for more than 100, or you can't add more than 100 for it. But for a stage 1, for an energy being able to hit for 120, 150 with a choice band, and that's a 1 prize attacker, that's not bad.
No, it's not
bad. In a format where you don't really have to worry about a whole lot of fire impacting you.
That's true.
Granted, you're not really going to hit many water types, so...
On the flip side, you only have 2 Alolan Executor in the deck to work with, so this is definitely one of those decks where you just want to buy 2 of them and put them together. If you go this route.
Ooh. Or get yourself a Mew EX.
Oh. All right, Dan, do you want to talk about our favorite secret rare from Champion Road?
We talked about this last week.
Yeah, but now we have a picture. I don't think we had the picture last week.
We didn't even know it was coming.
Yeah.
We're, of course, talking about the Rainbow Energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys remember when I was like, oh, man, if they printed a Rainbow Energy and it had a black background and it looked really cool, and then they did it. And I know that they made it just in time. Like, they were like, oh, we can't make Secret Rare Rainbow Energy yet. TDG hasn't talked about it yet. And then we did. And then the card came out. So
you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone. This card is so pretty.
This is by far my favorite card from Sun and Moon.
Yes.
It's so good looking.
Oh.
You know what? So I'm going to give some early speculation about this card because I can. So the thing about double colorless energy, for example, that came out in Guardians Rising, right? So Guardians Rising was a super overproduced set. So for the most part, a lot of people were really excited about double colorless energy because they thought it was going to increase in value. And I remember a lot of people buying a ton of them. and it actually went down from like $70, and it's pretty much stayed around $50 for each one. And I don't anticipate it going up, at least for a while. But Rainbow Energy, if they continue to fall the way that they say that they're going to fall as far as TPCI goes, and they're going to only produce a certain amount of sealed product at the beginning, there's going to be a lot of value in Secret Rare Rainbow Energy over the long haul.
I think so too. I think this card's going to be worth a pretty penny.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you both there.
This card is so collectible too. Like a lot of secret rares, they're just, I mean, they're whatever. They're pretty or whatever. But this card is gorgeous. I will own one. And I'm not a collector, and I will own one.
I am a collector, and well, a very small time collector, and I will own one.
So yeah, this is going to be a spendy card. No getting around it. Okay. Our last piece of TCG news. Did we talk about the new Zygarde coming to GameStop?
Nope.
All right. Starting next week, GameStop stores will be giving out a Galaxy Hollow Zygarde from Forbidden Light with a special legendary Pokemon stamp. So that's pretty sweet. They did the same thing in Ultra Prism with Heatran, but that one had Ultra Prism stamped on it. This one is stamped Legendary Pokemon. It's pretty neat. To get it, you must spend $25 on Pokemon TCG product or have a friend that works at GameStop.
Seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, pretty cool.
The card's also not very good.
That's not what we're worried about here. No, it's not good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any other TCG news, but that's the only I didn't have that much.
No, I think that's it. Why don't we talk a little bit about the big old tournament we all witnessed some of or a little bit of or whatever last week, and that was the Latin American International Championship. First of all, I want to come out and get on top of it and beat Danny to it and say, huge congrats to Caleb Gedimer on 7th place. Huge congrats. Like, he was playing Zoroark, Lycanroc, and crushed it all day one, took it all the way to top 8 in day 2. Just amazing job, Caleb. Way to go.
Yeah, the best thing about that is with that victory, he moved up to 2nd in North America.
Man, that's a lot of CP. Yep. I think he's got his top 16 locked up.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here at PTCGstats.com, and I'm looking at the top 32 deck lists. They got this nice pie chart here. There were 7 Buzzwole Lycanrocs, 5 Zoroark Golissopods, 4 Vikabulu, 4 Espeon Garbodor, 2 Zoroark Lucario, and then a plethora of other decks, including 1 Duskmane Necrozma / Magnezone. That's pretty interesting. Out of those 5 main decks that I talked about there, we didn't talk about Vikabulu. We didn't see that one doing so well, and it did perform.
Do we ever really see Vikabulu doing well? I feel like it's one of those ones that just no one expects it to do well, and then one person does good with it.
In this case, 4 people did. Yep. And I remember Brett Stratton, one of our AM players that was playing in the tournament. He got handed a few L's from Bulus during day 1. He ended up not making day 2, unfortunately. And I think part of that is just because Bulus were so strong.
I mean, it's definitely a good deck. It just brick.
So far and away, Zoroark, a huge part of the tournament. Fighting decks, a huge part, which makes Espeon Garbodor big. This was another tournament, another standard tournament, exactly the same decks, shaping out the same way. This is a stale format, everybody. I am so excited for Forbidden Light to come in and hopefully shake some things up.
And that one's Forbidden Light's not going to be legal for Salt Lake City, right?
No, it won't.
Not yet. Okay.
Forbidden Light will be legal for It'll be legal on the. Let me look at my calendar.
There's a regional in Australia,
25th.
and there's an expanded tournament in Roanoke.
There we go.
I think that's the week before Madison. I think that's when it becomes officially legal.
Yep, that's right. Roanoke. It'll be legal the 25th of May. So yeah,
I think it's actually legal before that, but
that could be.
Yeah, I know it is, but yeah, did you guys watch the stream at all over the weekend?
Bits and pieces, I guess.
Not.
I saw a few pieces. I know the lighting wasn't optimal.
Yeah, the lighting wasn't too bad. I guess it was okay, but there was some good. The commentators, I think, did a good job that they had down there, and some of the matchups were really interesting. But I thought the stream, obviously, it was professionally done, so that's good. And they did a good job of kind of mixing up the matches a little bit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is good.
Buzzwole, Lycanroc. There was some Gardevoir around, which wasn't too bad. But I think when you were looking at the top 32, were there any other standouts in there that we didn't really mention? I thought there was a Lucario that made day 2.
There was,
yep.
Yes. There was a straight Lucario, just one of them. One Sylveon, one Gardevoir.
Dustmane.
Yeah.
That Dustmane deck was pretty cool. They featured that on stream once. Did you guys didn't see the finals at all, did you?
No. I heard all about them, but I did not see them.
No, I also didn't see it. I was hosting my own tournament.
Yeah, the finals was pretty intense, and I didn't get to watch all of it. But from what I did see of it, I saw the point where the slow play penalty came down. So basically, if you didn't get to watch it, Azul was playing Diego in the finals. And there was a time, it was about 16 to 17 minutes into the round, into game 1 of the finals. And I think there was a little over a minute in between, I guess, what is it called? A game state where it moves the game state forward, like an action like that. There was one point where Azul looked like he was going to be benching a Buzzwole and ended up not doing it, and then went back and tried to figure out something else. And then that's where the 2 prize card penalty came in.
Wow, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was insane. And I don't know, I guess, Darren, what's your thoughts being a judge? Have you read about it at all, or are you just you just know what happened?
I did read a little bit, and the judges from that tournament put out a public statement just talking about slow play in general and their response to all of the flack they were receiving. And I don't know, it was not an unreasonable call, especially considering that they got a warning earlier. They both did. It just sucks that a finals match like that is decided basically by a penalty.
Yeah, because the turn that had happened, Azul was actually kind of turning the game around. So he ended up playing a Max Elixir that he hit, even though he had a bunch of energy cards in his hand. And then he ended up coming up, taking a knockout, and putting even more damage on an already heavily damaged Buzzwole, to the point where it would get knocked out next turn. And he was ahead on the prize trade. And that kind of swung the game completely then, where Diego really couldn't lose. And I don't have a problem with giving out the penalty. I just don't know how consistent it was. Like, I know they said that they were doing it consistently. I don't know if I've ever seen it before in the finals match, especially at an Intercontinental, where you get so much time in your round anyways.
Yes. There's the extra time they give you in top 8 of a large tournament is supposed to be there so that you don't have to worry about the time as much, because you already have enough stress put on you by just being in the last match of the entire tournament. So seeing a slow play penalty at that point, I can definitely understand people's frustrations. On the flip side, slow play is one of the things about this game, as well as stalling, that is under-penalized in general. And so when it does happen, and in such a high intensity game and such a highly watched game. I think there was 5,000 people watching that last match on Twitch. To do it in such a way is kind of eye opening, and boy, I don't know. It was very dramatic, maybe a little overly dramatic.
Yeah, there was still 58 minutes left when that prize penalty was given out, and both players were set up where the game probably would have ended regardless in the next 3 or 4 turns, I would assume. I mean, 58 minutes is a lot of time, and if they already got a warning for it, like it does make sense to me. And I'm not. At what point can you be a judge and be like, okay, I have to make this penalty, or I don't want to give this penalty because this is the finals. Like, it's got to be a really tough call. So I'm not hating on them for making the call. It's a gutsy call to make, but at the same time, if I'm just watching the stream, and I'm watching and it's like 2 minutes and nothing's happened, part of me is going to be like, okay, are we going to do anything, or what's going on right now?
Exactly right. Like, it is. If this is going to be an esport type of community, slow play does need to be tackled. In most cases, I don't know if this was the best example of a time to institute a slow play penalty. Like I said earlier, there's huge stakes on the line. These players are playing for real money. There's already plenty of stress on them. They have extra time anyway. I don't know if the finals match is a great place for a slow play penalty.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You hit it on the head when you were talking about how it's under penalized.
Yes.
Like, I think that's what the community is more upset about or more confused about, because it's not something that's given out very often.
Yeah, like when you go to a regional, if you don't win your first round and then you maybe lose or tie your second round, you get stuck in this invisible line across the play floor where everyone plays more slowly, and it's just all ties or losses from then on. And it's every tournament that I've ever been to, there's always just an invisible line halfway down, 3/4 of the way down, where players just don't play very fast, and that's something that should be penalized more often. And it's not, it doesn't, slow play isn't supposed to be about intent. Slow play is supposed to be a penalty so that your opponent doesn't suffer from your pace of play. That's the point of it. Like, intentionally slow playing is stalling, and that's illegal. Like, that is a completely different penalty. But it's either way, both of those are very, very underpenalized.
Yeah, and we have seen situations before where, like, I know it's a finals match, I know you get a lot of extra time, but we have seen situations before where it's a big tournament, like a national tournament, for example, where the finals goes into a tie situation, and then you have to go to sudden death. So I think that as long as it's a fine call, if other judges kind of take note of it and start issuing these things more frequently.
I do have to say a lively pace of play is a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Is there any other surprise decks in the top 32?
There was one Zoroark counters, which we had talked about a bunch about a month ago or 6 weeks ago. And then just that Gardevoir, like, there were definitely some interesting decks, but nothing super off the wall crazy either, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, that's too bad. And I think that's going to remain the case too. We have Utah this weekend, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, but then you have Toronto coming up, which will be standard, and you'll see a lot of the same thing over and over again. It was nice to see a couple of U.S. players make the top 8. Obviously, we're rooting for them. One person who didn't even make day 2 was Tord.
Oh,
unfortunately,
Tord.
Couldn't complete the sweep of all 4, but he'll obviously have a chance again next year. There was a lot of Galissapod Zoroark, wasn't there?
There were a couple. Let me pull that up.
Stream there. I saw it a lot. So, but go ahead.
Maybe there's a better stat here. I'm only looking at top 32 statistics. Maybe I can find more stats. RK9 always does a great job statting
There
out.
was four in top 32, and then one Golisopod Garbodor.
Right,
Okay.
but I mean that doesn't speak to the total tournament.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking top 32, and then one also got 33rd.
Close. There are quite a few in top 64, actually. There's quite a few Golisopod in top 64.
Yeah, I know I talked a little bit last week about it, just saying that I know that countries outside of North America seem to really favor Golisopod Zoroark, and I know that's what Tord was running over the weekend, and I think he has a lot to do with how it's played and how big it is, but I know on stream there was quite a few Golisopod Zoroarks.
One thing that I always find interesting is when really good players do poorly at a tournament. I think that's just good. It's good to see a top tier player kind of underperform because it makes it so that you aren't as suspecting of them of being cheaters, or it's just good to see like even the kings of the game can have bad luck, can have bad coin flips, can have bad matchups. That's just honestly, it's nice. It's nice to see Tord lose. Not that I want to see Tord lose, just that it's good to see one of the best players in the game can also have a bad day.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's kind of a deterrent to some people to be like, oh, I'm not going to. I mean, what's the point of going if he's just going to win it all? At least it's healthy for competition, even if it's a stale format.
Yes. Agree. The reign has begun.
The reign of Diego. Darren, you picked the wrong Diego to win.
I did. I picked the wrong Diego. Diego Casaraga, another great player who was on stream earlier, didn't make it out of day one. After his stream match, he just really went downhill. So sad to see. But yes, that's about. I don't know. Anything else we want to say about the LAIC?
No, just congrats to Diego for winning, and Azul and Caleb for making top 8, and the rest of the people who made top 8.
Of course. Congrats
Props.
all around. Our next big tournament coming up is over in Utah, right? The SLC?
Yeah. Salt Lake City this upcoming weekend.
Nice. Very exciting. And this will also be standard format, right?
No, this is expanded.
This is, oh man, that's fantastic. Everyone loves expanded, right?
There's one deck that's really good. Better than everything else.
Yeah.
And that's Rayquaza.
I'm gonna have to be the bearer of bad tidings. Rayquaza, not great in expanded. I don't see it performing.
It's because all the top players aren't good enough to play it.
Aren't good enough.
Yeah, the deck is too good for them.
Fair argument.
Sorry, guys.
Why is Rayquaza bad in the current format for expanded? I mean, it can hit really heavy. Obviously, it can knock out Zoroark.
I think it's just because stadiums are so easy to knock out, and to hit the numbers you need to hit with Rayquaza, you got to have Skyfield out, right?
Yeah, but isn't that the same case for Zoroark?
Yes, but Zoroark doesn't need a tool attached to not end your turn, and Zoroark only needs a single attachment to hit those numbers.
That's true.
You just play Zoroark with Mega Ray. Problem solved.
Dan, can you just build this deck already?
Yeah, actually, I have it built. I played
How
it
is
on
it?
stream
How does
a
it
few
play?
weeks ago. Not great.
Oh no, what's wrong with it?
It's Mega
Too
Rayquaza.
bulky.
Too bulky. Dang.
Mega Rayquaza.
Well, so we would expect Zoroark eggs to kind of
Yes.
be the format again.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just kind of disappointing because expanded was always something I looked forward to because of the plethora of decks. Like, you would have so many different options. Even at the beginning of this year, you would have a lot of different options with Night March and Primal Groudon and Ray Eels, and I know Like we've seen Durant make a little bit of a comeback. You could see Don Fan. Like there's just so many different options that were big beforehand, where the top 32 would just be sprinkled with a ton of different decks. And now you'll still get a little bit of variety, but let's be honest, if you're playing to win, you're probably going to be playing Zoroark eggs.
Yep.
Yep.
What else would you play?
Flareon.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I really have no clue. There's nothing else.
Vespiquen Flareon with fighting memory on it. Would that be worth?
Man,
can you attach fighting memory only for basic, or is it for anything?
What? It's only for Silvally.
Oh, that's it?
Yes.
Well then,
yep, it's only for Silvally.
that's not going to work very well, is it?
No. It's too bad.
You can still attach it though, right? It just doesn't have any effect.
Correct.
I
you can
believe
still
so.
play it.
Just play it anyway, right?
I just broke the meta.
Everyone should play Alex Hill's Glaceon Barbarical.
You're talking about the water one from, what is it, Breakpoint or?
Yeah, whatever one. Fates even that doesn't let you attach special energies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Everyone should be playing that.
We have a couple players that are going to be playing in Salt Lake City. They are Caleb and Chris Kemp and Corey Kohler, right? All three of those?
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, so we wish them all the very, very best of luck. Go get them, Tigers.
I don't think that's our team name.
Are they expecting a big turnout for Utah? I know things kind of settled down a lot. We talked about this not too long ago, but things settled down a lot at this point of the season because a lot of people already have their invites. And, I mean, you'll obviously have the top 16 there chasing, but
I don't know what Darren's looking for.
I'm looking for any Utah regional information. I'm on their website, which is utahpokemon.com/regionals. And you can still do your online TCG deck list submission. You can do your pre-reg here. It's $40 pre-reg until April 26th. $50 now. Sorry, everybody. That's a lot of money. Holy smokes.
yeah, it's pretty average nowadays.
Isn't it?
Remember last year when everybody was complaining about $50 for a regional? For an entire convention?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for like a huge convention. And now it's
The norm.
bonkers.
Does it say anything on there about streaming? I would assume that since it's more of an East Coast stream, that Critical Hit would be doing it, but I guess I haven't heard any confirmation at all.
Nothing on their website. Let me look up Critical Hit. See if they have anything on their Twitter. We are excited to announce they're streaming Toronto.
Okay.
But that's their only thing that they're doing. Critical Hit is they're doing just Toronto.
Okay. We'll have to look around and then we'll make sure to update our social media with stream information if it's happening.
And we might get a just out of the blue announcement Friday morning. Hey, here's your stream info. Mm-hmm. I'd be surprised if there wasn't someone doing it.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting because there is this is the last expanded tournament where Ultra Prism is legal, and then Roanoke will be expanded, but it'll be Forbidden Light legal also. So we'll see if that makes any impact on the meta. I just like watching expanded tournaments.
Maybe the new Buzzwall will come swinging, the new baby Buzzwall.
Or, I mean, it's a good card. The new Lycanroc and Forbidden Light's not bad.
That's right.
There's been some hype behind Zygarde GX. Forbidden Light's actually a lot better than what I think we gave credit for in the past. Like, Naganado's been testing pretty good for people, and there's been some hype behind that. There's been a lot of hype behind Greninja GX. I think your lower tier GXs are like Evital and Xerneas and Dialga and Palkia.
Mm-hmm.
But those are pretty expected. And then you've got DNC Prism Stars, pretty good. That Beast energy is pretty good. Beast Ring is broken. Mysterious Treasure is really good. And then obviously Malamar. So there's some decent stuff in the set that I think a lot of people are excited for. I don't know if it's going to play a lot of impact on the expanded meta, but I'm hoping that it does on the standard meta. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I expect Forbidden Light to make a sizable dent in the current meta. Hopefully enough to have everyone hyped up for Madison regionals and nationals.
Yeah, I mean, Ultra Necrozma started out pre-order pricing was like $10. Now Ultra Necrozma is like 17 for the regular art, which is insane.
Also, I looked up the rules for set legality, and it is the third weekend of the month that a set becomes legal. So it's the 18th. I was off by a week. I thought it was the third Friday after a set release. It's the third Friday of the month that the set releases. All right. Well, not to beat a dead Danny horse, but do we have anything else to say about SLC?
Who's gonna win it?
Who now? Is it the person or the deck?
Both.
I'm gonna shout out my boy Chris Kemp. Huge going into his home field advantage. I'm going with Chris Kemp.
Wow. What is he playing?
He's gonna play Zoro Eggs because he wants to win.
That's not barbarical. Dibs on next.
All right, go for it.
Caleb Gedimer playing Zoroark Eggs.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. Caleb's on a hot streak right now.
Yeah,
he
is.
I can't bet against him. If I'm going with somebody from non-TCG, I'm going to say Israel Sosa.
Do you mean non-DDG?
Non-DDG, yeah. I'm going to say Israel Sosa. Just because I feel like he's due since he's won so many before in the past and hasn't won for a while now.
Yeah, other than him, I guess how it's still hard to bet against Azul, so I'll give
Azul might have a fire lit under him to get that number one after that penalty.
I mean, technically, he is number one in North America.
Right.
I think he's number one in the world, actually.
He might be.
I thought I was number one in the world.
You're number one in my heart.
Oh, perfect. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Dan, are you a Danny fanny?
I am a Danny fanny for sure.
All right, let's move on. Stop this.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Azul is number one. Also, Azul is now a partnered Twitch streamer, so congratulations to him for that.
Yeah, that's huge.
So is Dan.
Oh.
Are you
telling the future? You telling the future, Danny?
Yep.
Nice. All right. What's next, Dan?
Next up is the weekly top 5. And this weekly top 5,
woo!
We're going to give you our top 5 favorite fire Pokemon.
Fire!
I have a question about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can it be a Pokemon
that doesn't exist?
No. That was fire in a set at one point? Or does it have to be its normal form?
Is there a Holland Primeape that was fire type?
Yes.
How do I know? I'll give it to you.
Okay. Then 2 of mine are going to be pretty messed up.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll start us off at number 5, you guys. My number 5 for favorite fire type Pokemon is Heat Rotom.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Heat Rotom's busted.
Love Heat Rotom. Cool.
You know what it does? It destroys Steelix.
Wow.
Shh. Heat Wave.
Earthquake.
Levitate.
Levitate. Gravity. Or
that was fun.
Magnet Rise or something. I don't know.
Something is correct. My number 5 is Volcanion.
Gross.
I knew that was going to be on Darren's list.
Of course.
Oh my goodness. My number 5 is Ho-Oh.
I like Ho-Oh. Rainbow Bird. My number 4 is Houndoom.
My number 4 is Charmeleon.
You went with the stage 1?
I did. So here's the story. When I was younger, my favorite Pokemon card that I owned was Team Rocket's Dark Charmeleon. Coolest card that I owned. Straight up. And I've loved Charmeleon since.
Did you only own like 3 or 4 cards? Or
I didn't own that many, okay?
I know exactly what card you're talking about. I'm not a fan.
Fun fact for you, my number 4 is also Houndoom.
Oh.
Hey. It's like we have the same name or something.
I know.
Crazy.
Not the same fans.
Nope. I have fans and you have fannies.
We just lost another viewer, listener, subscriber.
All right.
My number 3, Primal Groudon.
What?
What do you mean?
Wow. I didn't know you like Groudon.
Yeah, dude. Makes a huge, big. Basically, if you're a Pokemon in Gen 3, chances are you're one of my favorite Pokemon.
Breaks my soul.
Just to be fair, I was kidding, Dan. Just sorry.
Oh, you weren't actually surprised by that?
No, not even a little.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, my number 3 is Heat Rotom.
Hey, I like Heat Rotom too.
My number 3 is Entei.
Good
I
Pokemon.
know what number 1 is going to be.
I also know number 1.
All right,
Yeah.
my number 2 is Chandelure.
Shut up. My number 2 is Chandelure.
I like the same guys.
You guys do know that one of your favorite fire type is a light fixture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your favorite fire type is a monkey.
No.
with boxing gloves for hands.
That's not true. My second favorite, my
fire
number
type.
2, is Primeape.
What set is he from?
Is it Call of Legends?
Nope.
It's one of the
Definitely.
Heart Gold Soul Silver sets.
Also nope.
Pretty sure it's Call of Legends.
I'm pretty certain.
Look it up.
Oh, I am. Fire type.
Doody doody
Primate,
doody
Pokemon,
doo.
TCG. Primeape Delta EX Holland Phantoms.
There it is. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I heard
I
him.
mean, to be better, I was going to say EX Dragon Frontiers, but I definitely knew it wasn't Call of Legends.
Fair enough.
Well, this card's not very good.
No, but the artwork on it is sick.
Yeah, the artwork is super cool.
Yeah.
Card's not very good.
All right.
Flames of Rage. That's his second attack. At least
That's-
that part is cool.
That's what I'm going to have,
Alright,
Dan, if you
what's
don't
your
read your
number
number 1.
So you can have Flames of Rage.
Yeah.
My number 1, Camerupt.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, Camerupt and its Mega. Again, if you're a Gen 3 Pokemon, chances are you're okay in my book.
Wow. My number 1 is Talonflame.
Do that one. I knew it.
My number 1 is
Arcanine.
Arcanine.
I said it at the same time.
Jeez, I really liked Arcanine Labs too, you know, but wasn't what was my number 1 favorite fire type.
Yeah,
Ha-ha.
Arcanine's so solid. Danny, that's easy pick. Nicely done.
Growth is better.
Okay, but for real, you don't like Dark Charmeleon's art?
Not particularly, no.
I think it's really cool.
I didn't like. I was one of those weird people. I didn't like a lot of the rocket stuff. Some of them are really cool, but I disliked that set more than I liked it.
Incredible.
I liked a lot of the artwork from Team Rocket. I thought a lot of it was really good.
We're gonna put up
It was a nice mix-up.
after this goes live. I'm gonna put up a Twitter poll about
Oh yeah.
Dark Charmeleon. Is it good art or not?
I'm going to vote yes.
I'm gonna vote yes.
no.
Okay. All right. Well, you're already outvoted 2-1. Double. We've doubled
Sounds about
so
right.
far. Our listeners, they're gonna decide.
Yeah, but no deciding based on bias unless you're biased towards me.
Yeah, this isn't a popularity contest, except whether or not you believe Dark Charmeleon should be popular. Don't vote based on
Yeah.
whether or not you like me or Danny or Dan more.
Why you say it like that?
Let's move on. That was a great top 5.
And now, you guys, it is time for...
Question of the week. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, listeners, our question of the week was a success. I really enjoyed this one. You guys came up with some great responses.
Some of you came up with really bad ones. Actually,
I mean,
just one person came up with a bad one. I'll call it out when you say it.
oh, okay. All right, let's start with Facebook. Our first response came from Brett, good old Brett Stratton. He said, call energy and Shaman UD. What is
Yo,
UD?
Shaman Undaunted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it had the celebration wind ability where when you played it from your hand, you can move all the energy from one Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon.
Well, that seems pretty good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Next up, we had a response from Gage. Gage said Pokemon Collector or Lost Remover. I would love to see Lost Remover, honestly.
Same.
Be really cool.
Sorry, Enhanced Hammer.
Chase said computer search, but as a Prism Star, and I 100% agree. I think that'd be amazing.
I'd be okay with that.
That'd be insane.
Lewis said double Rainbow Energy. Counter Energy's lame. Okay.
I can agree with that.
Cam came in and originally answered the question poorly, but then saved himself by answering Portrait Smeargle.
Actually, though, oh man, Portrait Smeargle would be so good.
Oh, I totally agree.
Because he said Donphan.
He did. But then he realized it was pre-Black White. I love Donphan, but his answer was incorrect. All right, let's head over to Twitter. Our first response we're going to read is from Alexander. He said Gengar SF.
Gengar Stormfront.
Stormfront, okay.
Gengar Stormfront. I don't know what that card does, so I'm looking it up. Oh, Fainting Spell.
What does Fainting Spell do?
Once during your opponent's turn, if Gengar would be knocked out by damage from your opponent's active coin, if heads, the defendant Pokemon is knocked out.
Wow.
Yep.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Our next response comes from Mia, and it's a picture of Scyther EX. Aren't we getting this remade already?
Yeah, we have Scizor EX, but yes.
Or that's what I meant, Scizor EX.
Yeah, we're already getting that. So thanks, Mia.
Thanks, Mia. I recognized it by the identical card art. Next up, Tim. Good old Tim. He said Cessation Crystal. Interesting.
I actually don't know what that is.
As long as Cessation Crystal is attached to an active Pokemon, each player's Pokemon can't use any Poke Powers or Poke Bodies. So we would just update that to abilities.
Well, it actually seems super good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's take ourselves on over to the Dead Draw Gaming Patreon/subscriber Discord channel. There it is, question of the week. We got a response from Kraken Cove saying he would like Holland Phantom's Hollow Energies back. That'd be cool.
Same.
And
Super
boy, you know what? We only have one more response, and it's Claydol.
Yeah, dude. Claydol. Cosmic
was-
Power.
What was the one that you didn't like?
Austin Alice said double colorless energy.
That would be why I skipped it.
To be fair, that card was printed pre-black and white, so
That's the card he most wants reprinted every other set?
I think he's trolling.
I think you're right. That's it. That was our question of the week from last week. Neat. Yeah, there were definitely some great responses. I was a big fan of Cessation Crystal for sure. I think that'd be awesome to have in the current format. Seems pretty balanced, honestly.
Yeah, I like Lost Remover. I'd like that to come back.
Yeah, I definitely would be okay.
And Computer Search as a Prism Star, yes.
But that's not pretty black and white. Unless you're counting.
Yeah, I count the old Computer Search, sure.
You could say that.
Cool. What do you guys want to ask this week?
What card from Forbidden Light do you think is going to have the biggest impact on the meta?
There it is. That's great. Great question. So there you go, listeners. What card from Forbidden Light will make the biggest impact on the meta? You can leave your response on Facebook, on Twitter, in our Discord channel, on our YouTube page, on Twitch. You know what? You could do it in like a ton of places. If you can find Dead Draw Gaming and a way to talk to us, leave it there.
Wow, we can move into our buy-sell trade of the week because there was a lot of stuff. So
I like it when there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got Forbidden Light in, which was huge. And then I've got a bunch of Gliscopod GXs, a bunch of Zoroark GXs, a bunch of Tapu Lele GXs, some Gardevoir GXs, Rainbow Rare Gardevoir GX, Full Art Duskmane Necrozmas, Lycanroc GX, Buzzwole GX, Necrozma GX, more Gardevoirs, Full Art Gardevoir, Sylveon GX. And then I'm looking at a bunch of Float Stones and Guzmas, Reverse Hollow Float Stones, Ends, Puzzle of Time, Max Elixir, Strong Energy, Fighting Fury Belt. I got a lot of stuff in this week. A lot of stuff. Parallel Cities, the championship ones. I did already buy stuff from Forbidden Light from people. So I've got Rainbow Rare Greninja GX coming in. I bought a Rainbow Rare Ultra Necrozma to come in. And I've just been slowly loading up on more B-Strings and Malmars and Mysterious Treasures. It's important to make sure that I'm doing it at a low price because I expect the price to drop on a lot of stuff within the next few days once the set officially releases. So I try and make sure that I say that to everybody, prior to buying, like, this is my offer. But just so you know, the reason this is my offer is because I expect the price to fall down to this by the end of the weekend. So I justify it a little bit. But I did buy quite a bit of stuff. There's nothing that's like super high end. There's a couple of older things that I got, which is kind of cool. I got a Entei and Raikou Legend, the top, which is nice. I got some old Judge supporters. Got some old Super Rods. I got some Pokemon collectors. Sorry, I'm just going through here.
I got those old copycats.
I do have a bunch of those. I have some old Gengars that I got in that we were just talking about not too long ago.
Nice.
And some old like promo cards from set releases like Kingdra from Primal Clash, Dragalge from Flashfire, White Kyurem from Fates Collide, Zygarde from Fates Collide, Tyranitar from Fates Collide, Altaria from Roaring Skies. Just a bunch of stuff. I got a lot of stuff in this week, and there's still more coming. I've got more Lele's coming for sure. And again, I've already kind of justified my reasoning behind getting more Lele's, but it was a big, big buying week. And it's going to continue to be a decent buying week for the next several weeks up until Madison. So I'm excited about that. I also bought other stuff like table runners and tablecloths and headsets and just started to pick away at the shopping list for Madison now that we've got Forbidden Light completely paid for. Got those things in. So it's just kind of now tying up a lot of the fine-tooth things for Madison so that way everything goes off without a hitch.
Oh, excitement.
Yeah. And that's it for the buy-sell trade of the week. But it was definitely a better one this week, which is pretty exciting. I've got a lot of stuff on my table that needs to get added to the website, like tool drop trebuchets, and
cool.
There's just a lot of stuff that I really got to get up because it doesn't sell when it just sits on the table and nobody knows that we have it.
That's true.
It's just finding the time to do it. Other than that, we can move into our open discussion for the week. Darren, is there a new Patreon tier that people can sign up for?
A new Patreon tier? Let me look. Did we set up a new one?
I thought you set up one for Danny Fannies.
Oh no, I didn't. I can.
I thought that was serious. I thought that was the $15 one. So if you want to be a Danny Fanny.
No, but we can talk about our Patreon tiers really quickly. We have a $1 tier here where you can get professional coaching from Frank Persick for $18 an hour rather than $20 an hour. So if you get just even 3 hours of coaching, you've saved yourself $5 just because you're a member of our Patreon. As well as that, you get an invite to our Discord channel, which we're adding people, seems like every other day. It's so fun. We talk about Pokemon, we talk about anime, talk about question of the week. Good times. We also have plenty of other places, like the $10 a month, you can get a playmat. The $20 a month, you can get a t-shirt. There's just a lot of cool stuff, and we would love the support.
Yeah, the $15 one a month is actually pretty good because it gives you the option of buying product at our cost, which is pretty exciting if you're somebody who likes to buy a lot of the new sealed product. And a lot of times we can get stuff to you right away on release day. So if you're somebody who likes to go out and get, Forbidden Light on release day, for example, you could save quite a bit of money by signing up for the $15 tier, supporting us. There are some people that take advantage of that, which is really cool.
Actually, there's only one slot left for that tier. So if you're that one person that wants to get products that cost, cool. So no Danny Fanny tier, unfortunately.
Yet.
That's true. Plus, I just sent out our discount code. All of our $3 a month plus tier members, Patreon members, they have a code for the website, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's very good. It's amazing. Free money is basically what it is.
Awesome. What else you got,
free
Darren?
money.
How was your tournament?
My tournament was so fun. Oh my gosh. So we didn't hit 8 players, so I wasn't able to report it to Pokemon. We had 7, and we still ran the tournament. And we had 5 juniors and 2 adults, 2 masters. One was a dad, one was Oscar. I've talked about Oscar before. Oscar won in the Masters division. He was playing his Solgaleo deck, Solgaleo GX, and the winner of the juniors division was a kid named Will. He crushed it. He knew what he's doing. He came the week prior to Pokemon League, and it's like the first time I've played with a young kid who knew the real rules of Pokemon. The first time they come to a Pokemon League, because most kids, they just kind of make up their own rules a little bit.
I did.
I never learned how to play until I was an adult, but yeah, he came in. He swept the competition away, and the winners each got a Pokemon playmat that I had just kind of stashed. It was so much fun. All the Poke parents sitting around, they were impressed. They had a good time. The coolest part was I walked over to the tables. I had everyone entered into the tournament. I'm like, all right, is everyone ready for the first round of their first Pokemon tournament? And these kids exploded. Like this, woo, yeah! I'm like, oh my gosh. I didn't expect that.
Oh.
They were screaming in excitement. It was crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, totally cool. So hugely successful first tournament. I was pumped. I'm definitely doing another one in May. I'm going to do an unlimited tournament this time.
Oh wow!
Just so everyone can play with all the cards they have, or what?
Yep, that's generally the idea. A lot of kids, we did some tweaking to get their decks up to standard. I was actually really impressed that the kids that came, they did really well. I only had to get a few cards replaced. I think a lot of that a lot of the credit probably goes to their parents for for me telling them what had to be changed in a deck and then them actually changing it.
Good job, parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully you establish some people that'll come back for a league.
I think I
on a
did,
weekly
actually.
basis.
I'm a little sad. The store is going to be closed on Sunday for some reason. I don't know. I got a message from the store owner and said, hey, anything you were doing on Sunday, you'll have to cancel it. He didn't really say why, but that's too bad.
Dang.
Dang is you. I mean, dang is right.
Dang is me. That's true.
Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about, Darren?
What was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about how our podcast is now on iHeartRadio.
What?
Yeah, how crazy is that?
What's up, iHeartRadio listeners?
we actually should do a bumper for the beginning of this episode once we're done recording here.
For sure.
Cool. But yeah, we're on iHeartRadio, and we finally figured out the issue with getting on the Google Play Store. So we are going to be on there very soon as well.
My goodness. You can listen to us everywhere.
Almost. Pretty soon. And we there's one more big announcement. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up, but there's one more very popular music app that we are working on getting into. Just not there yet. Waiting on approval. It's Spotify. We don't have our Spotify approval yet. But wouldn't that be hype? Oh, it's coming. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Awesome.
That's it. That's all I got for Pokemon related discussions. Bye-bye.
Very cool. Well, the last thing that I have to mention is just to make sure to head over to Pokevault.com, type in the promo code DeadDraw upon checkout. Dan shot a really cool YouTube video that went up today, going over the stuff that he purchased using his promo code DeadDraw and received 10% off his order.
Danny, did you watch it?
I did.
What'd I get you?
A primate pin.
Did you love it?
Yeah, but now everybody's going to know that. That was the only reason they were going to watch it.
Oh. I'm keeping it.
Yeah,
Dan got
it
a
was
lot of
not as
money
cool
too.
as cool as my gift, Danny. Both of you.
I think I'll disagree with you. Anyways, head on over to Pokevault.com. They have a lot of cool stuff, exclusive from the Pokemon Center in Japan. So check that out and type in promo code DeadDraw. Some of you have already taken advantage of it, which is awesome. That's all that I have for open discussion. So, Dan, what do you got?
I actually don't think I have anything.
Perfect.
Cool. I do have some really cool contest announcements that'll be coming out on our YouTube channel in a few days. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really going to start pushing. We've got a little over a month, and I want to get to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube
Heck yeah.
before the end of Madison, or by the end of Madison. So pay attention for that, and you can win some really cool stuff. I don't like using contests as a way to drive growth, but I'm selling out here. And with that, Dan, why don't you sell us home?
All right. So, you guys, if you enjoyed episode number 82 of Dead Draw Gaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast that you can now hear on iHeartRadio, make sure to hit that like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. Make sure to check us out next week for episode number 83, where we're going to tell you all about what happened at Salt Lake City Regionals and some other super fun things. But that is all we have for you guys this week. So for Danny, for Darren, I am Dan. We will see you next time.